she was just like, you have no idea what it was like trying to find other opportunities because of color of my skin, because I'm darker. You know what I mean? I had no idea, like, because you're darker.
Oh yeah, Hollywood. Yeah,
in Hollywood, period. You know what I mean? Like, you get turned down because the color of your skin or because you're darker. You know, they shed light on a lot of lighter skin individuals. You know what I mean? And I'm not knocking any of that. Everybody black is beautiful, whether you're lighter, darker, or whatever. So with me, I just like to express myself. I love being black. I'm not afraid to express that. I'm not afraid to express that in my music either. Like, you either gonna like it or not, but I'm gonna let you know, like, I'm black and I'm proud and I'm happy to be in this color of my skin.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Walk with Drew. This is the start of season 2 of the show. Today, I got a special guest, my brother, QC native, hip-hop artist, producer, creative, all around, just visionary. What's up, young citizen?
What's good, Drew?
YUNG to be exact.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, man?
Now, for you guys everybody who probably watching this already know we're real cool with each other. But if you're new to my content, you might have not seen the first interview I did with Citizen. I did an interview with you, I want to say it was 2 years ago.
Probably 2.5.
2.5 years ago.
Because I was in the midst of, that's when Fit came out. So that was...
Fit hadn't even come out yet.
Oh, dang. Then it was probably like...
It was like
2017, 2018.
Yeah,
man.
it was like 2018.
Yeah.
Fit hadn't came out yet. And you just had I Wish out, and you had Outkast.
Yeah.
And at that time, you were like just like doing shows crazy. Just off
man,
those 2 records.
That was a crazy year, man. Yeah, I was doing. I don't know. I did the Breakaway Festival, and then did some Snug Harbor shows.
Yeah.
Did some Evening Muse joints.
Yeah.
Did a Creative Mornings.
Yeah, you did do
a Creative Mornings. Yeah, that's because I performed Risa Joyce there.
Yeah.
With an actual band. That's when the whole band thing started.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a crazy year, man.
Yeah,
that was a heck of a year.
And that we were in Hugo co-working space in small room. Windows behind me, people walking by.
Oh, it was mad people walking by too.
I had to go tell them to like we shooting here. So, and I was still shooting off an iPad then.
Yeah, it had the iPad was right there too, man. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Hey, man, that's growth, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah,
beginners for sure.
For
so
real.
It's just wild just to see the growth like in both of us. So first off, I wanted to get in just tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Yeah.
Nothing that so I wouldn't say nothing that we already know. We already know a little bit about you, but yeah, tell people a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, man. So
going on.
I go by the name of Young Citizen, YUNG to be exact. Everybody knows that. Producer, artist, songwriter, musician. Been creating music for 15 plus years. Still going at it. Got a couple of projects out. Performer, I do it all. So, yeah, man, that's me. Born and raised in the Queen City, 704 all day.
So talk about like you said performer. So talk about like 2020 has been a crazy year for everybody.
Yeah,
you know, and COVID hit back in March. And literally every creative on the face of the planet had to shift, had to pivot.
Yeah.
So talk about what that was like, the initial hearing about it, and then started to see your event start to fall off the
facts. Yeah, I was actually like right before COVID hit, I was booked like for 4 gigs. You know what I mean? Dang. Like things were about to really get started like in May, and then when COVID hit, everything got canceled. So at that point, it was more so like, okay, well, I can't do no performances. How can I grow my online presence? You know what I mean? So I just got with my team and we sat down, and my team knows like I don't like social media. I don't like it.
For somebody that don't like it, you active on it every.
Well, yeah, I am. Yeah, I am because I have to be. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where, like, you have to be if you want to get known, if you want to get seen, anything like that. So. And my team knows I don't like doing videos. I don't like doing. They're like, oh yeah, like you should do like some content, you know, for people to get to know you. Like they said that to me every single day before even pandemic hit. I'm like, yo, I'm not doing no videos, yo. Like, I don't feel like doing that. I feel like I don't have to do that. But I mean, you kind of have to. It's probably God saying, hey, look, bro, you might want to go ahead and do this because we about to shut it down. Right. You know what I mean? And only thing people gonna see is stuff on phones, TVs, iPads, tablets, all that stuff. So after COVID hit, before I started doing all this content and videos and stuff, like, I literally locked myself in the studio, and I think I made like over 15 songs. Like, I was like, okay, cool. Well, if we're shut down, okay, I got time to reset. Like, I took it as a reset button and figuring it out. You know what I mean? I was like, so let me just make a whole bunch of songs, and then we can figure it out once I have it all on the table. And so then I did that. I made like 15, 20 songs. And I was like, okay, cool. So like, what are we going to do with these? You know what I mean? And at the time, like, Browns Ferry was already done before COVID even hit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Browns Ferry and Conversations with was already done before COVID even hit. That was done in like end of 2019, leading into 2020.
Oh, word.
So I had that stuff stashed. And then I was like, well, let me just continue to make more songs. Right. So I did that. And then they were like, well, we kind of need to like do some video stuff, man. Like, people need to see you. You know what I mean? So then I was like, okay, cool. Well, I don't want to use. I have a DSL camera, but it was just too heavy to be carrying around all the time. And so I was like,
it's about
why don't we cop like some small cameras? So I copped this camera called a DJI Pocket. It's a small camera, like the size of my hand. You attach it to your phone, and it literally shoots like a DSL camera, bro. All those videos I did every Sunday were shot on that little Pocket DJI Pocket camera, and I would edit the joints, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna put these out every Sunday, and so yeah, they got me riding a bike, making some smoothies in the studio. Just talking to the people, going through my vinyl collection, and like everybody was just like interacting. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, this isn't bad. You know what I mean? I had to teach myself how to edit videos. I haven't edited a video in such a long time. Like, I knew a little bit of it, but you remember I was calling you, asking you questions. Yeah. I was like, bro, how do I do this? How do I do this? And I was doing little effects and making sure transitions were smooth. So then with performances, a lot of like organizations and promoters, they were doing like online type situations. So I did one with like Hugh House, and It's the Block with Dave Butler and Day Lee, and then I did the neighborhood theater joint. Right. I mean, we were trying to figure out like, can I just do something in the garage? But I just didn't like the look. So you know, gratefully I was able to get those two. And then yeah, man, we just had to figure it all out. And then that's when I figured out like how Formula came about. Yeah. You know what I mean? So people ask me like, what does Formula mean? I'm like, yo, it really means like, I'm really trying to figure it out. We're always trying to figure it out. We're trying to figure out the solution, how to get this, how to get there, how to get to that level. Once you get to that level, all right, you got to figure out like how to either sustain or keep going to the next level. Right. So that's how Formula came about. So the reason I'm putting out 2 songs and calling it Formula is so people can get a different type of sound. You get 2 tracks, so you can figure out if you like this or that, if you like the boom bap, or if you like, you know what I'm saying, like the harder songs, you know what I mean? Or you want like a ballad, or you want like a song that's just about hope and just things like that. And so that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm making all these songs to get people a whole different, you get a choice of what sound you want to see what's going to stick. Like, is this going to work or is this going to work? If it's not going to work, okay, cool. Well, it's 2 songs, so one of them's going to work. Right. Somebody's going to like one of them. And that's how Formula even came.
Through the pandemic. Yeah.
So when you see the cover, when you see the artwork, you see it says Formula 1 or Formula 2, and you see those little numbers. So those are the what do you call it? The longitude. Latitude. That's like, so that's my street. That's where I grew up. Yeah. We're
getting the keys here. Yeah. But now back to like the videos. Like, I know, like for somebody who's not really, wasn't really into the videos and that whole process. What was it like? Because at first it's like, okay, you start off with the smoothies. You're starting off with the showing your record collection. That kind of is like, okay, I'm trying to figure out my content.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what people gonna like.
And then how the heck did you get from that first Smoothie episode to 27 episodes later.
Yeah.
We
would usually we had a system. So we would put the videos out on Sunday, and then on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday we're like, okay, what's gonna be the next episode? The fact that I'm at the crib, we have time to get that done. So we will figure it out. Like Mondays and Tuesdays, we would be like, okay, cool. This is going to be the video for next week, and that's just how it worked. I had no idea I put out 27 episodes until I put out the last one with the wrap up. I was like, dang, like I would have never, like me personally a year ago would have never put out that many videos just doing that.
Like, y'all gotta understand what 27 weeks, 27 weeks. Even doing 10 is hard.
Yeah.
But 27
doing
weeks
5 is hard, bro. I'm just saying. Doing 1 was hard because I don't like doing that stuff. But it's kind of like you kind of have to do it if you want people to see you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna be completely honest. I do not like social media, bro. But I'm on it. You know what I mean? I'm trying to engage. I'm trying to have people I'm trying to get people to know who I am as a person and as a creative and artist. You know what I mean?
Why don't you like social media?
I just I feel like it just takes up my time. I pay it, I back in the day with social media, man, I used to look at somebody's post or be like, dang, why they get that many likes? Why I don't got this? I used to pay attention to that stuff, and then I was just like, yo, forget this, yo. I'm not paying attention to that. I'm paying attention to what I'm doing only, because everybody, and I even said it earlier this week, everybody's success, it's like their path is not the same as your path.
Right.
You know what I mean? What works for them is not going to work for me. What works for me is not going to work for them. So that's when I got into the mindset of I'm just going to focus on me and do what I enjoy. And if people like it, they like it. If they don't, oh well. You know what I mean? I'm doing what I want to do. And, people grasped onto it. You know what I mean? Like when I posted the vinyl collection, people was like, yo, I go to the record store all the time. Yo, let's link up and go to this, go to the record shop when it's all done, when all this is said and done. Yeah. Or I even, I did the video when I went to go visit my grandmother. Right. And, homies was like, yo, I got somebody buried out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, dang, that's what's up. You know what I mean? I didn't know. And so that's just how it all happened. Or being in the studio with other artists and other creatives, people was like, yo, man, y'all got a collab coming out? And we're like, yeah, man, we got something coming soon. Yeah. So whatever, I'm just doing what works for me. Right. And that's all I'm focused on. And that's when I started kind of enjoying social media a little bit more, because I did what I did, right, and then I'm off, so.
Yeah, because it's a lot of times artists kind of shy away from the whole social media and the whole doing content. But I'm if artists are always asking me what do they need to be doing? I'm like, you need to be doing content. Everybody needs to be doing some type of content that fits your way. If you're not a talkative person, okay, you're gonna just talk about your sneakers or take pictures or something. And you know what I'm saying? But everybody has to, as an artist, everybody has to figure it out.
You got to figure it out, man.
This is the new wave.
You got to figure out and tone in what you like and what's going to work for you, and just stick with it and do not worry about the rest of the world. Right. You know what I mean? And I was just I was talking to my homie last night, and he was just like, and I had asked him a question, and he was just like, yo, my motivation isn't based off of outside success. He was like, I focus on what I'm doing, and it motivates me it fuels me to keep going. And I was just like, dang, that's crazy. So don't worry about the outside success. Just worry about yours and your growth. And that's that should fuel you to keep going and to fuel you to keep being successful.
Yeah, because the grass isn't always green on the other side. So a lot of the artists that we look up to, a lot of people we want, man, I wish I had their staff, or man, I wish I had what they got going on. It's just dude, you don't know what they're going through in their head.
Bro, I'm telling you, because a lot of artists kind of we're being very vulnerable during this pandemic. Yo, this is what the record label does. Y'all don't want this. Right. You know what I mean? I don't own my masters. I don't, I'm not making money. Right. The label owns everything, and I'm trying to buy it back. I'm just like, yo, I don't want to get signed to a label. You know what I mean? I want to stay independent. But so many people, they want that type of fame. But a lot of people that are at that top, at that top of fame, they're like, yo, you don't want this.
So how did the whole thing kind of change your idea about labels? Like you said, you want to stay independent.
Yeah.
That's the wave right now for everybody.
It is the wave. People want that. People want the label because they want that machine. You know what I mean? They want that machine behind them. They want that relationship type machine. So they want all those relationships so that when they put something out, they gonna get that push. I know with me, I'm a grassroots type person. So I like that grind. You know what I mean? And then when I get what I want, I'm like, dang, like we really worked hard to get it.
It's organic.
It's very organic. But I wouldn't mind the relationships. I know I think Lecrae did that with when he put out Anomaly. And I think he signed with a major. I forgot. Columbia, that's it. He literally just won it because I watched the interview that he did, but maybe it was a documentary that he did. He literally only wanted the relationships so that when he pushed out Anomaly, he's going to get the numbers that he wanted. So if a label came to me, like, I would be like, look, I just want the relationships, bro. And like that machine to push me. I don't want y'all owning none of my stuff. I make my own music. I don't got no, you know, I have a couple of producers that work with me on the team. That's it. I don't need no other, like, I don't even need no budget. Just give me the, like, I'm not budget. I don't need no advance. Just give me the relationships and we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? So
you recently had a performance at Neighborhood Theater, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
One of the virtual performances, and it was dope. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
But one thing I told you the next day once I saw you, I believe it was next day, or was that Sunday? Because it was Thursday, right?
Yeah. So that's Sunday.
So that Sunday I saw it was just like, yo, you let everybody get on your set, like. And what I wanted to kind of talk to you about, I wanted you to kind of dig in for a bit, is talk about that spirit of collaboration that you kind of operate in, because not that many people get an hour set and you share it with all the homies.
Okay, so I love collaborating. I have a big heart, so I like to help people as much as I can, you know, to a certain extent, to where I'm not getting taken advantage of. But I just like to give, you know what I mean? So with that said, I had a couple of songs with some featured artists on it. So I was just like, yo, like, you know, I told my team, I was like, well, we got like a whole hour. Why don't we do something where we kind of break it up? And so what I did was I wanted to do the song, you know, with that artist, and I would give them an opportunity to get on that platform and do what they wanted to do.
And that's crazy.
Just because that's just in my heart to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm always giving, you know, the people out there know that. And when it comes to community, I'm very big on that. And that even comes from me, like doing outreach at West Charlotte High School. Right. You know what I mean? And I like to give and I like to help. You know what I mean? And if people don't give back what I give, it's okay. I just know what I like. That's just like what I like to do deep down in my heart. So I just wanted to help out, man. Give them the opportunity to do what they wanted to do. You know, they were all very, very grateful for it. I would say this: it's hard to get in neighborhood theater, bro. Before the pandemic happened, it was super hard to get in neighborhood theater.
How many seats is it? You know how many seats?
It seats like several thousand, couple thousand. I think
it's like one of those venues.
Like I would say about 2,000, maybe. It's a big venue, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a big stage. Yeah, like you're up high. You know, the stage is up high. You got to go up the stairs to get up that joint. And so it's very hard to get a neighborhood theater. So I was very proud of that moment because I remember in the past we tried getting in the neighborhood theater, and they either charged a whole buttload to rent out the venue, or they were just like, nah, like we're not doing nothing right now. But all the celebrities could get in that venue, you know, because they knew they were, you know, they knew the celebrities were going to pack it out.
Right.
But me and my DJ had a plan, like, yo. Like we've always had this plan as far as shows. We always call it the cool out. And the cool out is just about like having a good time, listening to good music, seeing dope artists, and it's really chill. So that's really what like it was going to be all about. If we would have gotten to that venue when everything was open and people can come, it would have been like, you know, kind of like a cookout type situation.
Okay.
But yeah, man, I just, you know, back to neighborhood theater. Like I wanted to give them artists not only like just to get on with my song, but like, yo, man, like do your thing too, man, and let the people know who you are, and give them the opportunity to get in neighborhood theater, because those artists haven't been in neighborhood theater before,
right? So
they were just very grateful for that, man. So yeah.
All right. So continuing like with talking about the Charlotte artists, if there was like one word you had to describe the Charlotte artist scene, what would it be and why?
It'd be two words, man. It'll be melting pot.
Everybody says that.
No, it's true, bro. Because a melting pot, you put all these ingredients in, and you have one big pot of different ingredients, but it's still comes together as one. Like it tastes good. You know what I mean?
Right.
There are different like styles of music in Charlotte. Hip hop, R&B, pop, indie, folk, like all that. And it all can blend together, but like everybody's great. You know what I mean? That's how the music scene is here. Like there's so many different genres and styles in the city that all have a vibe. You know what I mean? And it's just it sounds good, man. Everybody's different. Everybody sounds good. Everybody has our, everybody has their own style, and they just run with that. Yeah. So when you throw a show, man, like you could throw different shows every week and have a different vibe every week. Yeah. You know, one week you'll get trap, one week you'll get boom bap, one week you'll get pop with hip hop, one week you'll get folk with a band and violin, all that stuff. Like, and you can throw all that together, man. It's really good.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like you can just get, everybody can get like what they want. I should say, like you can pick what you want.
Yeah, facts.
So you can pick your boom bap, you can pick your hip hop, you can pick your R&B singer.
Yep.
Is there a trap? What trap artists out here?
What's some
what's his name? Fetty P. Franklin. That guy, I seen that.
Oh,
guy,
Petty. Yeah.
I was like, what other
trap, man? Like, you got Hot Boy. You got Hot Boy Lil Shaq.
Yeah, okay, I've heard of him.
Yup.
Okay.
They all run with like the baby and all them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Stunning for Vegas and all them.
Producer wise, you got like Hollywood, call him H Wood. He really be like doing all that. And then the producer that I work with, his name is Sterl. He does some trap as far as producing wise. He the one that did like the drums on I Wish.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Who did the drums on the 704 joint?
The Sauce?
The Sauce.
Oh, that's the homie Sequence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sequence, man.
That's what I want to hear more from you in the future. I want to hear.
Oh, we got some stuff, man.
I want to hear some.
Hey, man, I got the song that me and Sterl did together. I forgot what we're gonna call it. I think we're gonna call it COT, but it's like on that like Bun B, Pimp C type vibe.
Okay.
Like that.
I mean, this ain't gonna get out till January, so ain't nobody gonna see.
I mean, yeah, it was. It's not gonna be. Oh yeah, but it's gonna be out in 2021 for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, man, yeah. We got some vibes coming with that.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
So, like we were saying earlier, you're like first time we met, I Wish was out, Outkast was out, Fit hadn't even came out yet. So now we fast forwarding two years later, Fit has been out. You got a huge response back from Fit. Dropped the merch with that. You and now after that, you got married.
Yep.
And then, because you weren't even married last time. Yeah.
I wasn't.
You weren't married. You're married now. And now you have two other projects. You got Formula and Formula 2 out now. Yeah. So talk about just the discography up to this point, and we're going to get into Formula.
Okay. So, like, you want me to just, like, what led up to it? Or
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's all about growth. I'm always trying to figure out, like, what the next sound for me is going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, when I put out Brown's Ferry, everybody was like, yo, like, you want this boom bap vibe?
Yeah.
And because it has the drums just make it feel like that, even the sounds and the bass line. But what I wanted to talk about, like, I wanted to, like, if it's called Brown's Ferry, the neighborhood I grew up with, I'm about to tell y'all and just be straight transparent with who I am.
Yeah.
What's going on in my life and my family. You know what I mean? Brown's Ferry is I'm just being vulnerable. I'm just about my brother. He's in prison, So going from Fit to Formula, Fit, I was in a space to where I was like suffering with confidence in myself as an artist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. I was like in a depression state while I was like.
Oh, you were making Fit?
Well, when Fit was being created, I had just got out of that dark space.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I was like, dang, man. I was lacking confidence in myself as an artist, and when Fit happened, it felt refreshed. So I was like, man, I feel good. Like, this is good. And the response I got, I'm like, yeah, I know what I'm doing now. So then when Formula came, it was kind of like that that sophomore stage, like, yo, I know exactly what I'm trying to say. Right. I know exactly how I want people to feel when they listen to this. And it's really growth, man, from Fit to Formula is growth in my eyes. But people still love I Wish, bro. You know, and people.
That would probably be your most streamed song.
It is. Yeah, man. People love that song. So, and that's cool. But I still want people to pay attention to the growth. But whatever the people like, stick with it. You know what I mean? I'm going to continue putting out music regardless. So
when you say you were going through a bit of a depression, did all your healthy habits that you have now kind of spawn from that?
Yes.
Okay, so that makes sense. Put it together.
Waking up early in the morning,
right?
Meditating, writing in my journal, drinking tea. You know what I mean? Just being calm and having a routine. So that's where all that stemmed from there. I had to figure some things out. Reading books. I've been reading a ton of books. And I do audiobooks and the physical book at the same time. Right. I'm highlighting my book and underlining stuff. Right. Learning about different people, how they got into the, how they got to where they wanted to get at a certain level. Listening to a ton of podcasts. And that's really what stemmed me into breaking out of that phase and coming up with a routine. And that's how Feeling Tune came into fruition. Like, feeling tune, like I'm in tune with myself, self-care, self-confidence, self-love. I love everything about me, and that's how Feeling Tune came about.
So what was that patience like? Because I was just talking earlier about myself, because I'm like, or to myself, about like everybody has that person in their head about who they want to be or whatever. And I'm like, in my head, I see myself going to work, getting off work, you're reading for an hour, doing content for an hour, maybe getting into the word a little bit, chilling, and then going to bed by midnight or whatever. And that's what I like. 2021. That's what I'm hoping to get out there. So what was the process for you, like building those habits? Because that's not easy.
Yeah. Well, the first habit was trying to get up early in the morning.
Are you not a morning person?
I am, but not 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah. Nah,
I'm more so like an 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock ish. I can't do 10. I can't sleep past 10, bro. It was pushing myself to get up. It was pushing myself to get up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. That was hard, man. But I got used to it. So now, like, I have no problem getting up at that time. Yeah. I have no problem getting up at that time to go work out either. You know, at the time, I was going to the gym early in the morning like that, because I didn't have to be at work till like 10 o'clock. So I would wake up at 5, go work out, be home by 7, and I take my shower, then I meditate and chill till I leave to go to work, get off of work, you know, give myself the time to get things settled, and then create, man. Just work on music, and that's really what happened. The first step was trying to get up early in the morning. The other stuff, making my bed, reading, listening to podcasts, stuff like that, that was easy. You know what I mean?
The biggest step was just
getting up early in the morning, man. Yeah, exactly. Because you got to get your mind and body ready. Like, I can't stay up till 12, 1 o'clock.
See, I don't have to be at work till 9, so and then work from home now. So like, I can go to bed at 12 and hop right out.
Let's hop right up and log on, right? Yeah, that's how it is, man. But yeah, it was just getting up early in the morning, and I finally got it. So yeah.
So I want to get into Formula One a bit, and I want you to talk about the song. It's like really a smash with everybody. Conversations with Kurt Keys.
Yes.
And then so get into that from me a little bit.
So Conversations with came about. Like, the melody just made me want to just talk about life. So Conversations with is literally about me having a conversation with God. And I'm just telling him, like, when I'm singing down here, how I'm feeling. And then the second verse is kind of me giving him a sign, like, so my cousin passed away in 2016. And it was literally, like, that second verse is literally me talking about, like, I'm giving God a hint, like, I would love to see my cousin. You know what I mean? But I'm realizing, like, my cousin's with me all the time. I had to finally realize that, and he's around me every day, 24/7. So that's how it was kind of like, God, like, bro, like, you ain't got to worry about that. Like, Trevor's with you all the time, bro. You know what I mean? So that's how, like, that song came about. And I told Kurt, like, I remember I posted just a snippet of the beat for like 15 seconds on IG story. Kurt hit me up that night, was like, send this to me. Like, what's good? And I was like, that's crazy. I had just thought about you. I was going to send this to you before you even hit me. Like, you would sound good on this. So I sent him the beat. I mapped it out. I told him exactly, what I'm talking about. He sent me a snippet like the next night. I'm like, this is it. So he finalized it. send me the hooks, and then I put the hooks in my session, and then that weekend I recorded the verses and we had a song. You know what I mean? So it was done in like a week, and so that song is just really special to me because I'm talking to God and then I'm talking about my cousin at the same time.
So if there's one person out there whom you could have a conversation with, dead or alive, who would it be?
Okay. So that question you said, I actually got several people. So the ones that are deceased, I definitely want to talk to my grandfather. My dad's dad, he passed away when my dad was like 12 years old. So I've never had a grandfather. I would love to talk to him because my dad always been like, yo, you just like your grandfather. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, I never met him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Definitely want to talk to my grandmother, which is my dad's mom, just because she had Alzheimer's through my like teenage and adult life. So I never really got to really talk to her on a level, like be like, yo, what's up, grandma? Cause she had Alzheimer's. Right. Definitely want to talk to her, but she's deceased in 2016 as well. And, yeah, that's probably it, bro. As far as deceased. Alive, I mean, I don't know, man. I would love to sit down with Pharrell Williams, bro. That's just that's like one of my favorite idols, one of my favorite like creators, man. Just sit down and be like, yo, tell me what them sessions were like during In Search of album or Fly or Die. I want to know like what were them sessions like. I even want to know what them sessions were like when you was in the studio with Justin Timberlake when y'all made Justified. That was like one of the best albums Justin Timberlake ever came out with. Right. And just sit down and talk about that. Like, tell me about the creative process. Like, how did y'all come up with everything? How did you get into like singing? Like, that's what you wanted to do. Because when you came out with Girl, like, you were singing the whole time. So I would definitely want to talk to him and just ask him some questions and just interview him like that.
So in my head, when I thought about this question, I was like, okay, he's gonna name like Michael Jackson or like Pimp C or something like that. Oh
nah.
But I like the fact that you didn't really name celebrities because like that means like celebrities are not really important. I mean, if you would, it doesn't really change anything, you know, about you whether or not you think celebrities are important or not.
I don't know what me and Michael would talk about.
No, I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, he's a major influence. Like, of course, I listened to Michael Jackson when I was younger.
Right.
My parents just helped me discover Michael Jackson. Like,
right.
But I'm just like, if I sat down with Michael, like, I don't know what we would talk about because like he's not like in my music.
Right. Of course.
You know,
I was just saying
his
in
influence.
general. Like, I was just like, I thought I was gonna hear like some like Jimi Hendrix. I thought I was gonna hear just something off the wall.
Oh, nah, crazy. Man.
But I like the fact that I didn't because it shows that you're a family person. It shows that you know what I'm saying, you keep your family close to your heart.
Yeah, you know I got to talk to my grandfather. Like, look, bro, like, why am I the way that I am? You know what I mean? Like, how was dad? Like, how was pops like the way he is? You know what I mean? And just talk like, what was it like growing up? Like, what was the army like? Right. What were you and grandma together like? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I would love to talk about that because my dad was like, they would move a lot because he was my grandfather was in the army, so they had several like houses on base. I remember my dad took me to Fayetteville one year, and he showed me all the houses they stayed in. I know the main house that I was at when they would take care of me, like when my grandmother would take care of me. I know that house. I don't know the other houses that he showed me. I was like, dang, bro, y'all had some small houses. Yeah. How did y'all fit? Because it was him, my two uncles, and my aunt. All four of them, and my grandmother and my grandfather, all in one house. I'm just like, yo, how did y'all do that? You know, I definitely want to talk to him about that. And then I want to talk to my grandmother, like without having the Alzheimer's, like just to see what, like, as I'm an adult now, just to see like, yo, like, how's everything? You know, how this talk, you know. Did you know what I was doing like when I was a teenager, even though you had Alzheimer's and stuff like that?
Yeah, so that song definitely kind of spawned that with me. It's just like who would I want to have conversation? I know that was to God, and I know we all wish once we get there, like okay, so if I would have did this at 12, like what would have happened?
Right. Bro, I be thinking 19, the same
like,
thing.
I literally think that,
and he gonna go right.
Especially with women, that's the first thing I'm like. If I would have did that,
he gonna swipe through to that one moment.
If I would have did that, would I still be here? Yeah. If I would have went to HBCU instead of Wingate, would I still?
I think about that too, bro. Like.
I probably wouldn't be in Charlotte.
So I was supposed to go to. I was supposed to before Catawba happened. I almost went to Newberry, bro.
I almost went to Winston-Salem.
Was on state?
I got in, and then Wingate let me because Wingate rejected me, and then I got my grades up, and then I got in. But I was about to go to Winston. All I got into was HBCUs and like Gardner Webb. I didn't want to go to Gardner Webb. No offense, everybody, I didn't want to Gardner Webb. I didn't want to go to Gardner Webb. So.
Hey man, Pastor C, we are not knocking Gardner Webb. I've been to Gardner Webb on a visit. I can. That's out in the middle of nowhere.
It looked like Wingate.
Oh yeah, okay, I can see that.
It resembles Wingate. That's what when I first saw.
I almost went to Newberry, bro.
Really?
Man, I was about to sign papers. Like I was about to they were about to sign me as a tight end. And
what? You was out here playing tight end?
I played. Here's the thing. I played left tackle on offensive line, but at the time, like I was like small. You know what I mean? So they were gonna put me at tight end. But I'm like, where is there a store? And so, oh yeah, it's like 30 minutes down the road. I'm like, yo, I'm not staying out here. Now, going back, like when I played at Catawba, going to Newberry College and seeing their field and stuff, I'm like, yo, this is dope. But when they showed me that facility and they showed me the weight room, I was like, nah, man, this ain't it. I can't do this.
Wingate would have been worse too, because Wingate only had one. Wingate only had one weight room that all the sports team used.
Yeah, we had the one weight room that all the sport teams used. But it was nice. Like Catawba was nice with the weight room.
Man, it had everybody in there. No. And then they were using because they didn't have. Then when times were overlapped,
they go to
the facilities. And everybody, let's go to. I'm like, bro, what are y'all hogging?
Bro, the baseball players would go to the facility that like the college would use.
Right.
If like because at that time. You had the field hockey team in there, the soccer team in there.
Right.
Like, yo, we got to go to the other facilities. And they would go over there and take over the community.
Yeah.
Like, yo, man, this is crazy. Because I only played 2 years of football at Catawba. But when I was a regular student, I would go to the gym and it'd be packed. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
With that, we talked about conversations with. I want to get into. Is it Brown Butter? Is that what it's called?
Brown Butter.
So in that song, you just released a video. I want to say 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And got black women all in it.
Yes.
Talking about them, and you released promo beforehand. Black women talking about why they love to be black.
Yes.
So talk to me about the story behind Brown Butter, and then I want you to get into why you yourself love being black and expressing that.
Oh, facts, man. So Brown Butter came about, like, I just wanted the state that we were in, the state that the country was in, I just wanted to just shed light on it. Just be proud to be in the color of the skin that we are, man, because so many people were angry earlier this year, with everything that was going on with the decisions that the country made and things like that, and the state that we were in. So many people were just angry, like, why do y'all hate us? Why do y'all hate us black people? Like, why has it always been like this? And so I wanted to write a song about, like, be proud to be black, yo. Like, we're beautiful people. Like, we are unique. We're a different color. You know what I mean? Like embrace that. So that's how all that came about. With the women, I wanted to just give women the opportunity to express themselves. So we added them in the video, like in the actual Brown Butter video, even though you don't hear them talking, I at least wanted to show their faces. And these are the women that I selected and even reached out to. I respect them as women, as entrepreneurs, as business women, as just human beings, period. Because those women specifically that y'all saw in the videos, like, they're doing something with their lives. You know what I mean? And so, like, I really wanted to just give them the opportunity to do that. So what I did was, even though you couldn't hear them on the video, I just went ahead and posted them on my social media so y'all can see who they are. And just talk about, like, why they enjoy being black, what makes them proud. So it's really just about being black and proud, bro. Yeah.
So what makes you, I feel like you kind of touched on it a little bit, but so what makes you so proud about, not so proud about, but what makes you proud about being black and then expressing it in your music? Because just a lot of times black people, we don't express that, like that sense of self-love for our skin color.
We don't, because it's always getting like it's always getting
causing separation.
Yeah, man. It's always getting divided. It's always getting like turned down and things like that. A lot of black women get turned down on like opportunities, man, because they're like people were talking about like even watching the Fresh Prince reunion, right? The first original Aunt Viv, she was like, when her and Will were having a conversation, like, they were telling each other sorry and forgiving each other. She was just like, you have no idea what it was like trying to find other opportunities because of color of my skin and because I'm darker. You know what I mean? I had no idea, like, because you're darker.
Oh yeah, Hollywood. Yeah,
and Hollywood, period. You know what I mean? Like, you get turned down because the color of your skin or because you're darker. They shed light on a lot of lighter skin individuals. You know what I mean? And I'm not knocking any of that. Everybody black is beautiful, whether you're lighter, darker, or whatever. So with me, I just like to express myself. I love being black. I'm not afraid to express that. I'm not afraid to express that in my music either. Like, you either gonna like it or not, but I'm gonna let you know, like, I'm black and I'm proud and I'm happy to be in this color of my skin. Like, I'm not afraid. Right. A lot of people are afraid to just go that route, but I'm just gonna do what I do.
Facts. So with that, so you said that the song was kind of inspired by the recent events and everything going on. So,
but I wanted to say it in a way of, like, a lot of people, like, when recent events happen, when you hear the songs that come out, it's always like they're angry. You know what I mean? Or they're sad. But I'm like, why not bridge the gap and let's be happy? So that's pretty much like what happened. Like, the first verse, I'm like, yo, be happy to be in your skin, yo. Learn about your culture, learn about your ancestors, like, learn about that. Be happy that we are in this color of skin. The next verse was kind of like, all right, I'm about to protest now. You know what I mean? I'm about to come at you. And so that's pretty much like how it happened. So I just put both in one song.
Yeah.
Be happy, but still, like, we're going to stand our ground and fight for what we want.
Right.
Yeah.
So with that, so as of like the last 6 or so months, really the whole entire pandemic, we've been just going through a lot with unarmed black men being killed.
Yep.
A lot of social justice issues, a lot of people standing up, and still even to this day, even as of recently, like last month, started seeing certain things pop up with like certain articles of people getting shot or having issues with the police.
Yeah.
As an artist, when all this started to come about, how has it kind of affected how you go about doing your music and go about trying to affect change in your community?
Like how has it affected, like, with everything going on?
Yeah.
I mean,
you, and then how have you used that to?
I mean, I was very upset with what happened this year with events, because the same thing happens all the time. But I think what really frustrates me is that, like, it keeps happening because we haven't changed the laws, and people don't understand that, so they're going to keep going out to the streets. And then, like, what also upset me was, like, people were, well, if you're not going out to the streets, like, you don't support what's going on. Nah, like, you choose how you impact the community. Right. You know what I mean? I impact the community by going to West Charlotte High School, talking to the football team, talking to my boys, and letting them know, yo, there is light at the end of the tunnel. There's a different type of life you can have. You don't have to be in the hood forever. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be in the streets forever. Like, you could play football, but also think about having your own business, things like that. That's how I impact the community. I don't have to go out to the streets and have signs and stuff like that or protest. Like, I respect people who do that, but that's just not in me to do that. Right. So I was angry about that. Like, yo, don't bash people for not going out there. They probably don't feel comfortable going out there. So it affected me in a way of, like, I was a little angry, but I was like, yo, there's got to be change, but we got to change the laws first. And then I was just like, well, I'm just going to continue. Like, I've always put things like this into my music some way or somehow. For people just to hear and listen to. I have a song I call Power People, which is all about that.
I love that song.
I appreciate that. Thank you, man. So I'm always gonna put that in my music some way. It don't have to be on every song, but some way it's gonna be in there at some point. So yeah, man, it affected me in a negative and positive way, but more so positive. That definitely overweighed the negative. But I was a little angry earlier this year with all that.
And it's important to be able to voice that just in, like, the right channels. Like how you said, figuring out what works for you, because a lot of times, like, for me, because I'm like, at first I'm like, I want to go out there and protest, but I'm like, I wouldn't want to go out there at night trying to be smart.
Yeah, man.
So I'd rather go out there during the day and do something like that. But you were catching backlash from other people, like, oh, no, you need to be doing this. Or if you're not posting a lot, then do you really care or whatever? And I caught myself up in that too. Like, we're looking at coworkers and other people. I'm like, oh, yeah, not posting stuff. But I'm like, do you really be posting a whole lot of stuff, Drew? Like, so it's.
But that's the thing. Another thing is, like, see, so like I get into this whole monkey wrench thing. The people that are posting, do y'all really care?
Right.
because you had a lot of non-colored folks posting during this time. Maybe it was because they finally realized like what we're going through as far as black people. But there was a lot of people posting, bro.
Right.
And there's people still posting today.
Right.
So I'm like, dang, yo, like, did y'all finally realize what was going on? Did it finally hit you? Because in the past, some of those people didn't post nothing. Yeah. But now, like, I think people really starting to realize and catch up to like, okay, cool, like there is a problem going on.
Right.
Racism is present.
Because now it's like there's Black Lives Matter on the court in NBA 2K now.
Bruh.
Like, what do you mean? That was
somebody put up a Black Lives Matter mural in Noda at like a brewery that's like, I'm like, hey, they got Black Lives Matter at a brewery. You know what I mean? You don't see a lot of black folks going to a brewery.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, cool. Like, so really, people starting to see what's up.
Like it's like pros and because it's like pros and cons because it's just like, okay, good that you caught up, but like what took you so long? And then it's just like, is it really genuine? So I definitely
is it genuine? Like, do y'all really care? You know what I mean? Like, we need to know that y'all care. I don't care about no posts. What you doing behind closed doors?
Right.
How you feel behind closed doors? Don't just put this out just for like a perception so people can see. Oh yeah, like they're supporting. What you doing behind when nobody's looking at you?
Right.
You know.
So with that, what does Young Citizen have coming up for the rest of the year? Are you dropping music this month?
No, I'm not. I know I told you I was.
Yeah, you told me. I was looking for it.
Hey man, January 1st is a Friday.
So this is when this is dropping. So
might be So I think I'm dropping on January 1st.
Both dropping.
I'm waiting on one last mix, man. I'm waiting on this one mix, man. I got this song called "Wake Up." It's nice. My engineer Jason Jett, man, we've been going back and forth. I know I'm getting on his nerves, but I'll hit him up. Be like, yo, we're like 95. I actually hit him up last night. I was like, bro, we're like 95% there with the song. I just need you to turn down this, that, and the third. He's like, all right, I got you, bro. I got you. I got a song. I got 2 songs. I got Formula 3 coming out January 1st. Okay. Moonlander's on both of them. Okay. The homie Moonlander's 2 songs called Wake Up and 32. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Looking forward to that. Yeah. So his content. One thing about Citizen that I admire is his content consistency. Like his content consistency, and then too, just out of playing like as an artist, as an independent artist, like you don't get a lot of time seeing like a plan. Like he told me at the top of the year, but we're doing this, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
and he's pretty much followed through on all of it and just been really consistent. So like I admire your effort. I admire all the habits and consistency.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Yeah, man, that really. Consistency and completion are the 2 top things that my uncle told me. My uncle's in the music industry. He worked for Universal Records and MTV and all that stuff.
MTV.
Well, he doesn't do that. Like he lives in Santa Monica, in Marina Del Rey on the water, and he has a company with 2-3 other people, and they're the ones who does like the soundtrack for these major films, TV shows.
Holler at me.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Uncle Ashley, holler at Drew, you know what I mean?
He's trying to get on.
Yeah. Right. So when I put out Fit, that's when he was like, bro, you completed an entire project. A lot of people can't do that. You know what I mean?
And that was your first project, right?
My first like full project. Yep, right. 4-song EP. So. Like I always put out like singles, but I put out an actual like 4-song EP. My uncle was like, yo, you did it. You know what I mean? You put out a completed project. Like you should be proud of that. Right. So then that's when I was like, okay, so going forward, I have to make sure I stay consistent and I have to complete something that I start. And so that's the thing that stays in my head every time I do anything. Every time I tell anybody I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Somehow it's going to get done. So yeah.
So last segment. Scott, the segment, I didn't even tell you about this because I like to, you know what I'm saying?
Surprise me. Yeah, I already know how you do. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Got to surprise you a little bit. So it's a segment I like to call, I do this with all musicians I interview. It's called Explain That.
Okay.
So
Explain That.
I have a lyric from 2 of your songs.
Okay.
And you got to tell me what song it was from, see if you know your words, see if you know your rap.
Facts.
And then you're going to explain the lyric.
Okay, let's get it.
All right, so the first song, 2 sides to a party, is it real or fake? Tell us different stories, just persuasion, but invasion. Don't believe what's on the news. I just watch it on occasion.
Oh, that's power, people. 2 sides to a story is real or fake. Say the other one.
Tell us different stories, just
persuasion, but invasion. Don't believe what's on the news. I just watch it on occasions, bro. The news is like
A lie.
A lie,
A
dog.
lie.
That's where that line
lie.
came from. I'm tired of watching the news and they giving us these fake news, bro. Like when doing the whole presidential I was on Google looking at numbers. The news is saying a whole different numbers. I'm like, hold up, bro, what's real?
That's why.
And there's always two sides to a story, bro. Like,
out to me.
Yeah, like the news always portrays like, well, the officer did this, officer, oh, this is a whole nother story, bro.
On the streets.
You know what I mean? Like when Breonna Taylor passed, her boyfriend did an interview and he was like, yo, this is really what went down. But the news said a whole different thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? The newspaper said a whole different thing. So that's what that line meant. That was from Power People. Yeah, I like that line.
Yeah, I like that because it jumped out at me because I'm like, I like that line because it's just like I'm one, I kind of keep quiet in conversations when we talk about media or news or
and they try to persuade you too. Like this is what happened at Nah, it's a whole other story, bro.
So it was kind of a breath of fresh air to hear somebody like artist on the same page as me. Like I just watch it on occasion. Like it's just persuasion.
But my dad will watch MSNBC all day.
So will my mother.
I'm like, bruh, get off of that, bruh. Like, what are you learning? You know what I mean? There's some shows on MSNBC that I'm like, okay, this is cool. What's her name? Rachel.
I don't know.
She's like this white lady. Yeah,
like
she cool.
With the short brown hair. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's her. My parents love her, bro. I'm like, yo, y'all tripping.
Y'all got it. Y'all got it. So the second line. So you got 1 for 1. So the second is steer my own future. I'm the pathfinder. CMG is a team. We the franchise. Impacted by the worst decisions. Breaking bad habits on the repetition.
That's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. The sunshine and rain. Sunshine over everything. Losing your brain. Okay, so I'm like, say that line again.
Steer my own future. I'm the pathfinder. I like that a lot. Then you said CMG is a team.
Build my own future. I'm the pathfinder. CMG is a team. We the franchise. Yeah, so I'm continuing to build my own future. I'm the pathfinder. Like I'm finding my path, but it's like the car pathfinder. You know what I mean?
I caught it. I caught it.
CMG is a team with a franchise. Yeah. Like I love my team. I like to, I follow Ninth Wonder and J. Cole with Dreamville. They kind of build their team like basketball, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like on the same thing, on the same wave. Like we the franchise, like we're the ones, like we're the ones that's like we're gonna get to the top one way or another. Like we're gonna figure this thing out, and we're gonna be the best that we can do. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's pretty much what those two lines meant.
Right.
Yeah.
So he successfully passed the test. I only give 2 because I don't want to get past doing 5.
You got to think about it, man, because the thing is like even when I did that show in neighborhood theater and I did the whole hour set, I'm like, yo, bro, like
all them lyrics, bro.
But the thing is like. What I tell people is like, yo, it's really muscle memory. You have to remember, like, if you remember how you spit the line, it's going to stick to you. So you're automatically going to remember the words, just going to come out. You know what I mean?
You didn't have no like voiceovers. It was all the instrumentals. You were just rapping over it, right?
Yep. Yeah,
that's a talent.
Yeah, man.
That's a talent. You gotta love your craft to do that.
Yeah, bro. I love performing with my band, bro. Like, man, it's amazing with my DJ Charles, Mike, Teaspoon, Marcus. Like, what's up, y'all? I had to shout y'all out real quick.
Sir Charles was at the last interview. Yeah, because you pulled up with him.
Yeah, he was, man.
Was the last interview.
Yeah,
so
it was it on a Thursday?
Nah, wasn't it on Thursday?
Mike, because I wanted. That's like back then. That was
Thursday,
that was like my day off.
I was still working part time then. Yeah. So it wasn't. Yeah, so a lot of change in, man. So I'm glad to see your growth and your progress.
I appreciate it.
What I'm saying,
man. Likewise, man. You've been doing your thing, y'all. I told you, bro. Yo, it's through the roof, bro. Like just. If you stay consistent, bro, I promise you're going to get what you want because I know what you want. I know you want that Spotify deal.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Spotify, if you Fuse, Vice, whatever. Yeah.
Stay with it, bro. Like you're going to get it because I see it. I see it, bro. I see how you moving. That confidence is through the roof, bro. Like just go.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
So if you would shout out your socials and where I can find you at online to find your music.
Yeah, y'all can find me at Young Citizen, YUNG Citizen. It's that simple. You already know what it is. If you want to text me, 704-286-1175. We can have a conversation, talk about life, talk about community, talk about routine, talk about different teas that I'm drinking, smoothies, all the health, wealth, mental state, all that.
Health wealth is his.
Yeah. So Young Citizen, YUNG Citizen, and then 704-286-1175. You can text me right there.
Formulas available.
Formulas available. Both formulas available on streaming platforms. You can find the videos on YouTube. All that stuff. Yeah.
So this was another episode of Walk with Drew, season 2, first episode of season 2 with Young Citizen. This is Drew Mouzon. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment on YouTube, and if you're watching this on Facebook, please share it and get it out to all your friends. So until next time, this was Walk with Drew. Peace out.
Peace.